play some 5-minute blitz, try to explain my thought process as I go, and I'll stick to my blitz repertoire, Jobava London here. You get a very typical Jobava London, and this Carl Khan setup with bishop f5. Here I play f3 using one of the ideas of Jobava, which is to attack a bishop and quickly go g4, h4, knight d7. I think this is one of the less accurate moves because it allows white to get this. I think more accurate was this e6 move. Now white has a nice position here. And we castle. And I like my position very much because if black castles here, we already have strong ideas of g5 and or h5. Now I think black wants to play this h5 idea. So maybe g5 is a very nice move to anticipate that. For example, if we just go knight e2 and black can get this move, I think black can stave off the attack on the king side a little bit. Let me think a little bit here. But we have some cool ideas. Try. One idea is very interesting. It's bishop e5. Because if the knight takes, there's some very cool tactics here. I'm actually going to play that move. I'm happy to play this move. After takes, this is not good because I have an explosive move here. e6 is what I calculated. Because if takes, the queen takes this, and white has a big attack here. Yeah, this is not good for black. Okay, I can take that. The pawn is loose. Now white is up a pawn with a big attack. One of the reasons Jobava is so good in blitz is because it leads to these weird positions where white has a lot of space, easy attacks on the king side. Alright, so our queen is attacked. Can give a check. I'm thinking about just developing. I think just developing is fine. e6. Queen here looks okay. We also have this move. I'm gonna just tuck the queen back. It's like perfectly valid. Queen there. So he wants to trade because he's getting attacked, which is understandable. Don't really want to trade. So I'm gonna retreat my queen from that diagonal. And knight a6 here. Now the queen can dive into e7. See how uncoordinated, how discoordinated black's pieces are while I'm attacking this. It's very hard to defend this. Maybe knight c7 is a move, but it just doesn't look too good for black. I think knight c7 is probably the only move you can play. Queen c8. Has its own problems. Queen c8 has its own problems. Immediately I can start attacking. Just going g5, trying to go g6. trying to get a checkmate in, just sneaky checkmate to end the game. And my queen is dominating. If the queen tries to trade, then I can take here and everything's falling apart. Now if queen goes here, correction, I just go queen takes e6 and it's going to be checkmate. So that's exactly what's going to happen. King has no squares, and after queen f7, then it'd be queen takes f7 checkmate. It's a good game. Very dangerous game for black. Just a great illustration of why the Jobava London is so powerful in blitz. So this variation c6, Carl Kahn-like system. Just don't do anything special. e3, bishop f5, now f3, trying to go for a typical Jobava London setup. h6 is just far too passive and slow. e6 really is fine. I think e6 is probably good. h5 also good. But h6, g4, it just feels a little bit too passive, and this h6 pawn can easily become a hook to attack because h6 invites g5, and that's exactly what white wants here. And I play h4, and after knight bd7, I go bishop here, and after takes, that g6 is just slow again, and after castle is bishop g7, I go bishop here, and yes, h5 is the move I was a little bit worried about. And it is good, very good for black. So which is why I was thinking of maybe pushing g5 or h5, like right now, g5, then I can go here, and now my plan would be to go with f4. That's what I was thinking about. I decided to play this just to illustrate a concept. If you take, then after takes, knight d7, and e6, then if you take, then the queen will take this. So it's an important concept in Jobava London. I'm curious why this is so bad for white. If I go here, knight c4. Okay, I see now. Black is getting a lot of counterplay on white. So see how fast that could reverse on white. So really, instead of bishop e5, I could have played a very patient move. But really, the Jobava is just a practical weapon. You don't have to play it perfectly. And see, if you don't find knight e5, and the idea of queen b6 trying to checkmate me, then practically speaking, black is in some trouble here. Queen takes g6, queen takes e6. White has a really aggressive position. And I just develop my pieces. Queen f4 and queen b4. Already white has a huge position here. g5, g6, it's over. Almost over. Black has to find this. I can still take a pawn and then go like this, and white is just up 2 pawns for nothing. So although not a perfect game, this just illustrates how sneaky the Jobava London can be, how poisonous it can be. Here, I think here, white can really consider just being patient, but bishop e5 is one of those moves, like, if you take, it could be very dangerous. And if you don't take, and you just castle, then this bishop is going to oppose your bishop and just be like a thorn in your position. If you take, now I can get f4 and then get h5 with big attack. With knight c5, queen d4, and knight f3, white has a huge space advantage. If black just does nothing, h5 is a crushing attack. After g5 takes, and takes, h6 is one of these classic patterns. Bishop here, if you get your pawn to h7, a huge attack. It's hard to defend this. If you can get your queen back here, it's already checkmate, for example. Just an example of how deadly the Jobava London is. So there's so many attacking ideas. The root cause is because white has the pawn duo on g4 and h4 supported by the pawn at f3. This is one of the key ideas of Jobava London. Even if you don't play this perfectly, see practically in Blitz is basically very deadly. I hope you enjoyed that game, and I also learned something from it. And thanks for watching.